Can I be forgiven? I kissed another man. I, F23, am married to my wonderful husband, M25. Here's some background. P.S. It's a long story. We have a 1.5-year daughter together and we've been married for 2 years and known each other for 5 years. My husband and I met in high school. We were high school sweethearts, one prom king and queen together. I was class president. We were on a high in high school. We graduated and I was to start college that fall, but he had no idea what to do with his life. My parents were in the midst of separating. I had gotten a job working full-time in the summer of 2019. My husband, boyfriend back then, we'll call him R, was obsessed with being with me, calling me, showing up to my job throughout my shift, and at first this was cute. We were head over heels for each other, but when August came around I was getting ready for college, but he was not. He didn't have a job nor a goal for life, and I could not handle being in a relationship, so I broke up with him. He begged me to stay, he cried to me to not leave him, and he even stayed the night at my house the day I broke up with him. BCS, my mom couldn't have him driving home in the state that he was, since he told me he was scared he was gonna end his life. He dropped me off to school the next day because he insisted. I still broke up with him. Fast forward to April of 2020 and it was lockdown. Up until this point I focused on working, studying, and just messing around with anybody to entertain me. I didn't cry for him when we first broke up. I acted like I didn't care. Saw him at the mall during Black Friday 2019 and he came up to me and my sister to say hi and how it was nice seeing us, and I hissed him away, telling him to never talk to us again. I became aggressive towards him and didn't want anything to do with him. Anyways, April of 2020 comes and we're in lockdown and I'm cleaning my room, taking things out my closet, and I found this letter that he wrote to me when we first started going out of March of 2019, expressing his gratitude and lust for me. He was so sweet in this letter, and the tears I didn't cry came out. I cried for days afterwards as if I just went through the heartbreak. Fast forward, we started dating again in July of 2020 and we've been together ever since. I graduated college with a science degree and my goal in life is to be a doctor. My mom wanted this for me my whole life. I told her I didn't want kids. I wasn't ready for kids until I was at least in medical school. Anyways, he joins the military in 2021 and I'm still in college. I am loyal to him and my studies. June of 2021 he gets out of boot camp and I get to see him again. So excited, and we are like bunnies, and that November I get pregnant without knowing. January of 2022 I find out I'm 8 weeks pregnant and my life flips upside down. He apologizes over and over again about this. I don't know how to react. BCS, I wasn't ready for kids, nor did I want one just yet. I decide I'm going to get an abortion and he says he will accept whatever I decide. I don't end up having it. BCS, I grew up in a Catholic house and I wouldn't have forgiven myself if I ever did that. We get married July of 2022 and I end up having a beautiful baby girl in August of that year, and R is getting ready for his first deployment. I have an emergency C-section and he's able to come home for 1 day before he gets shipped off for 8 months. I just started my senior year of college and my husband has left me at this point. My mother-in-law and my mom help me with the baby. I'm in bed for 2 weeks, then it's up to school, taking 7 classes per semester, getting a part-time job and coming home to study with my newborn baby. During this time period R is spear fishing, cliff jumping, traveling and having fun at parties on deployment. I'll be honest, I don't think he ever cheated on me, but I wasn't a priority during the first 4 months of his first deployment. Anyways, I thank God I didn't get PPD, and I think it was BCS of how busy I was that my brain didn't have time feel like that. We visited him in Italy for Christmas and New Year's of 2022 to 2023. He came home that April and I graduated college that May. I moved to his station state about 4.5 hours away from home. He told me I needed a job but that I also needed to go back to school. I was $5,000 in debt that I had to pay before I could apply to grad schools, got a job as a teacher and he didn't like it. Moving in together was rough and we fought almost every day. He was called for deployment in January of 2024 and we got into a physical altercation a few days before he left. I was supposed to move into a new place with our baby alone. BCS, he didn't help pack our rented space. My sister helped me pack all of our belongings while he got ready for deployment. He left and the very next day we were scheduled to move into our new place. I did this by myself with my sister and our baby. He has promised me the world, but when he left I felt nothing but the feeling of abandonment. We talked through our issues and we got better. He promised me all these things for when he would come back, but he did that in his last deployment and he showed nothing for it. Recently, an old friend from high school started texting me again and asked me out for lunch and I agreed. We were both home for a week and I said why not. We did used to be fuck buddies in high school for only a year, 2016 to 2017. When he dropped me off from lunch he had kissed me. He knew I was married and with a daughter. We also had been exchanging flirtatious messages for about a week prior. I did not pull away but I did not kiss back either. I was stunned and speechless that I just left and went inside. Before this I had told her that I had danced with a guy at a nightclub that I went for a friend's birthday. We did not grab each other and I left him on the dance floor after dancing for about a minute. He got mad, and then a month later I do this shit. A couple days later I went out with my friend to go dancing, she is F23, and I took some chocolate mushrooms and I start tripping bad and I tell her that I had cheated on him, told him the guy's name and when, where, how I told him everything. This was the day before Father's Day. Here we are almost 2 weeks after the incident and he says he won't leave and now it's me who has to prove myself to him in this relationship. We've been together for 4 years, 5 of we don't include our breakup and I've never done anything like this before. I feel so guilty and shitty but it's my punishment to carry. I start grad school in August, he comes home in September but I'll be living on campus 3.5 hours away. I want to prove to him that I can make it work for us, that I'm better than what I was. I just want advice, can we overcome this? Can I be forgiven? I have given so much in this marriage and family that it wasn't until a couple months ago he started acknowledging me for the sacrifices I've made. I know he loves me, he's always told me how he wants me to be the mother of his children, to grow old together, have land and build a house and farm together. I know I don't ever want to put him through this kind of pain again. How can I make things almost normal again? I'm sorry for what I did. Can we grow from this if I'm willing to change for the better? Advice please, thank you if you read this long story. I left a lot of details out but I hope the point is there.